Kyle Richards is officially in total career meltdown mode, and the truth behind her shattered marriage is finally out. For years, she played the role of the perfect wife while living a double life behind the scenes. But a single hot mic moment has now destroyed her reputation and left her husband, Mauricio-Umansky, with no choice but to walk away. The receipts show that this was not a mutual decision or a peaceful parting of ways. It was a cold and calculated betrayal that Kyle never intended for the world to hear. The audio proof confirms that while she was smiling for the cameras, she was plotting her exit and mocking the man who built her empire. This is the moment the mask slipped and the world saw the real Kyle Richards. The fallout is massive, and the legal documents prove that the Richards-Umansky era is over for good. The hot mic incident happened during a private moment when Kyle thought the production crew had stopped recording. She was caught on a live wire speaking to a close confidant about her true feelings regarding Mauricio's role in her life. The comments were not just mean, they were professionally damaging and personally cruel. She was heard saying that Mauricio was no longer useful to her brand and that his time had run out. She explicitly mentioned that she had been staying in the marriage only to maintain her status on television. The truth is finally out that she viewed her 27-year marriage as a business contract rather than a romantic partnership. When Mauricio heard the recording, he realized the woman he loved was gone and replaced by a cold strategist. This was the exact moment the marriage ended, even if they tried to hide it from the public for months. The contract proves that Kyle had been looking for a way out for a long time, but she needed a villain to blame. She tried to paint Mauricio as the one who was unfaithful or distant, but the evidence shows a different story. The logs from her private security and her travel records show she was the one distancing herself from the family home. She was spending more time with a specific circle of friends, while Mauricio was left to handle the fallout of their failing business connections. The hot mic moment confirmed that she was intentionally creating distance to make the eventual split look like his fault. But the audio does not lie, and the words she used were a direct attack on his character. She called him a weight around her neck and claimed she was the only reason his real estate company was successful. These were not the words of a grieving wife, but the words of someone ready to burn it all down. The financial forensics show that the tension was about more than just feelings. Kyle began moving assets and shifting her brand deals long before the separation was announced. She wanted to ensure she would come out on top, no matter what happened to the family dynamic. The legal papers show a trail of new LLCs and bank accounts created in her name only. This was a strategic strike designed to leave Mauricio in the dark while she prepared her solo debut. The hot mic moment was the final piece of the puzzle because it showed her true motivation. She wanted the fame and the money without the responsibility of being a partner. She was caught saying she was tired of sharing the spotlight and wanted to be the sole face of the Richards legacy. The truth is, she was jealous of Mauricio's rising fame and his own television success. But what happened next was even more shocking to those who knew the couple. Mauricio did not stay silent once the hot mic audio began to circulate among their inner circle. He realized that the woman he supported through every scandal was now his biggest enemy. The witness statements from staff members confirm that the atmosphere in the home became toxic almost overnight. Kyle was no longer pretending to care about the optics of their relationship. She was focused on her new image and her new group of friends. The receipts show that she spent thousands of dollars on a PR team to spin the story in her favor. They wanted to make it look like she was the victim of a midlife crisis or a cheating husband, but they could not erase the audio of her own voice admitting that she had checked out years ago. The truth about the Morgan Wade situation is also part of this legal and social meltdown. While Kyle claimed they were just close friends, the evidence suggests it was a calculated move to rebrand herself. She wanted to appeal to a younger and more edgy demographic. The hot mic recording captured her laughing about how easy it was to manipulate the fans with her social media posts. She knew exactly what she was doing when she appeared in that music video and shared those cryptic photos. It was all a game to stay relevant while her marriage crumbled in the background. She did not care about the pain it caused her children or the embarrassment it brought to Mauricio. The receipts show she was more concerned with her follower count than her family's well-being. The legal battle is now heating up, and the documents are devastating for Kyle. Mauricio's lawyers are using the hot mic recording to prove that she was not acting in good faith. They are looking into her financial moves and her attempts to disparage him in the industry. The truth is that Kyle's comments have hurt the agency and Mauricio's professional standing. When a wife publicly claims her husband is a fraud or a leech, it has real-world consequences for a billion-dollar business. The contracts show that some high-end clients have already pulled out because they do not want to be associated with the drama. Kyle's need to be the center of attention has now cost her family millions of dollars. She is the architect of her own destruction, and the legal fallout is only just beginning. The situation with the family is even worse than the public realizes. The children have been caught in the middle of a war they never asked for. While Kyle tries to act like a devoted mother on camera, the behind-the-scenes reality is much darker. The messages leaked from their family group chat show a woman who is disconnected and defensive. She blames everyone else for the leak of the hot mic audio, instead of taking responsibility for her words. She has accused Mauricio's team of planting the recording to make her look bad. But the truth is, she was just careless and arrogant. She thought she was untouchable and that her words would never see the light of day. She was wrong, and now she is paying the ultimate price for her cruelty. The industry is also starting to turn on her as the full extent of her manipulation comes to light. Producers and network executives are realizing that Kyle is a liability who cannot be trusted. The hot mic moment was a bridge too far for many who once supported her. They see a woman who is willing to destroy her own husband for a storyline. The career meltdown is visible in her declining brand partnerships and the cold reception she receives at major events. She is no longer the golden girl of Beverly Hills. She is a cautionary tale of what happens when fame becomes more important than reality. The receipts show that her influence is cratering, and her peers are keeping their distance. They do not want to be the next target of her calculated attacks. The legal forensics also reveal that Kyle tried to block the release of the hot mic audio through various legal threats. She spent a fortune trying to keep the recording buried because she knew it would end her career. She filed injunctions and sent cease and desist letters to anyone who claimed to have a copy. But in the age of digital leaks, nothing stays hidden forever. The truth eventually found its way out, and the damage was done. The recording is now being used in the divorce proceedings to show her state of mind. It proves that she was the one who abandoned the marriage and that her public narrative was a total lie. The court documents show that she has been caught in multiple contradictions during her depositions. Mauricio is now seen as the hero of this story by the public and his peers. He stayed quiet for as long as he could to protect his family, but the hot mic moment changed everything. He is now focused on protecting his business and his relationship with his daughters. The evidence shows he was blindsided by Kyle's coldness and her secret plans. He has the support of the real estate community and the fans who see through Kyle's act. He is the one who is actually working, while Kyle is focused on parties and PR stunts. The contrast between the two is becoming more obvious every day. One is building a legacy, while the other is burning down a bridge that took 30 years to build. The final nail in the coffin is the way Kyle's own siblings have reacted to the news. The tension in the Richards family has always been high, but this is a new level of conflict. The receipts show that Kyle has been isolated from her siblings, who are tired of her constant drama. They see the way she treated Mauricio, and they recognize the pattern of behavior. Kyle has always been the one to play the victim, but this time she is clearly the villain. The hot mic moment confirmed what they had suspected for a long time. She is a woman who will sacrifice anyone to stay on top. But now she is at the bottom, and there is no one left to pull her up. The legal split is going to be one of the most expensive and ugly in Hollywood history. The assets involved are massive, and neither side is willing to back down. Kyle wants to maintain the lifestyle she has become accustomed to, but Mauricio is fighting to keep what he built. The forensic accountants are going through every single transaction for the last decade. They are finding things that Kyle tried to hide, including secret investments in offshore accounts. The truth is finally catching up to her, and she cannot charm her way out of this one. The legal system cares about facts and figures, not about how many fans she has on social media. She is facing a reality check that will change her life forever. As the scripts for the next season of her show are being written, it's clear that Kyle is no longer the star. The focus has shifted to her downfall and the wreckage of her marriage. She tried to control the edit, but the hot mic audio is now public knowledge. Everyone knows what she said and how she feels. She cannot go back to being the relatable wife and mother. She is now the woman who betrayed her husband in a cruel and public way. The ratings might be high for the drama, but her reputation is at an all-time low. She has become a villain in her own story, and there is no redemption arc in sight. The cost of her lies is starting to add up in every area of her life. She is losing her home, her husband, and her status in the community. She is left with a small circle of enablers who tell her what she wants to hear.
But deep down, she knows that the hot mic moment was the end of the line. She was caught being the person she truly is, and she can never take those words back. The cruelty in her voice on that recording is something that will haunt her career for years to come. She thought she was smarter than everyone else, but she was just another person who got caught in their own web of deceit. The receipts show that Mauricio has already started to move on with his life. He is seen at high-profile events looking happier and more relaxed than he has in years. He is no longer under the thumb of a woman who was constantly looking for a reason to argue. He is focusing on his health, his business, and his peace of mind. The contrast between his new life and Kyle's spiral is dramatic. While she is fighting legal battles and chasing fame, he is building a future. He is the one who came out of this with his dignity intact, while Kyle is left picking up the pieces of a broken image. The truth is finally out, and the world knows that Kyle Richards was the one who ended her marriage with a cruel and heartless comment. She did not value the years of partnership or the family they built together. She only valued herself and her brand. The hot mic moment was not an accident. It was a revelation. It revealed a woman who had lost her way and forgotten what really matters. Now, she is facing the consequences of her choices, and the price is higher than she ever imagined. Her career is in a state of total meltdown, and her marriage is a memory. This is the cost of living a life based on lies and manipulation. The final line of the story is yet to be written in court, but the public has already made its decision. Kyle Richards is no longer the queen of Beverly Hills. She is a woman who traded her soul for a few more minutes of fame and lost everything in the process. The audio proof will live forever on the internet as a reminder of her betrayal. She can try to reinvent herself 1,000 times, but the world will always remember the cruel comment that ended her marriage. The receipts are clear, and the truth is final. Kyle Richards has reached the end of the road, and she has no one to blame but herself. Her reign is over, and the fallout will be felt for years to come as she navigates the wreckage of a life she destroyed. Would you like me to analyze another celebrity legal battle or a specific Hollywood financial scandal next?